I always thought the cruelest kind of invisibility was the kind you felt while standing in a room full of your own family, people who shared your blood but not your truth. And on the night everything finally unraveled, I wasn't trying to change the world. I was just trying to survive my cousin's wedding without disappearing completely. The ballroom glowed like a palace, chandeliers burning bright, a sea of gold and white decor so perfect it looked artificial. 500 guests filled the room, dressed like they were auditioning for royalty. I stood near the wall, wearing the plain dress my aunt insisted on because it was appropriate for someone in my situation. In their eyes, I was Nora Hale, the unmarried cousin at 32, the one who traveled too much, worked some confusing job, and never settled into the life they believed counted as success. My mother approached with her usual strained smile. "Nora, sweetheart, maybe you can help the servers refill water. You're good with helping." Helping. Not leading, not strategizing, just helping. Around me, my cousins swapped stories of promotions, engagements, new houses bought in neighborhoods with shiny names. And while they bragged, my encrypted phone vibrated again and again inside my purse. 10 missed calls from my deputy, critical alerts from the Secretary General, updates I couldn't ignore. The emergency summit I'd spent months preparing for was hours away, but no one here knew or cared. When the ceremony began, I took my seat in the very last row, behind elderly guests who could barely follow the vows. My place card didn't even have my name. Just, Hale family, guest. To them, that's all I was. As the rabbi spoke, I read urgent messages in the glow of my phone screen. A diplomatic walkout was looming, humanitarian corridors were at risk of collapsing, and the wrong decision tonight could cost thousands of lives. Before I could respond, my uncle snapped, "Put that away, Nora. You're embarrassing us." Embarrassing. I almost laughed, then the world shifted. A black SUV screeched up to the hotel entrance. Security agents poured out, sweeping the area with sharp precision. The guests murmured, craning their necks. The music faltered. Someone whispered that a senator must have crashed the wedding. They had no idea. The ballroom doors slammed open. The Secretary of State stepped inside, flanked by diplomats and national security officers. The entire room went silent, as if the air had been snatched away. He scanned the crowd. "We're looking for Deputy Envoy Nora Hale." 500 faces turned toward me. Shock. Confusion. Disbelief. I stood slowly, my heartbeat steady, almost calm. The secretary approached with urgent purpose. "Hale, we can't proceed without you. The coalition meeting is falling apart. The aid resolution will collapse without your briefing." My mother stared at me like she was seeing a stranger. "Nora, you're, what? You work with the government?" "She leads 2 of our major de-escalation frameworks," my analyst said behind the secretary. "She's responsible for preventing multiple armed conflicts this year." A gasp rippled through the room. The wedding photographer kept snapping pictures like this was the moment that mattered. "The helicopter's waiting on the roof," the secretary said. "We need to leave. Now." My cousin, in full bridal glow, looked at me with wide eyes. "Why didn't you ever tell us?" "You never wanted to know," I said softly, walking down the aisle, this time with everyone watching. I heard my aunt call, "Nora, wait." "We didn't understand." "You understood what made you comfortable," I said, not turning back. "Not what was real." The elevator doors closed between us, the helicopter blades thundered as we lifted off, the wedding shrinking into a distant glimmer. My deputy briefed me quickly, India and Pakistan demanding immediate mediation, northern routes collapsing, 3 ambassadors refusing to negotiate without me. The kind of crisis where one misstep could drag nations into chaos. When we landed on the UN rooftop, I stepped into the whirlwind I truly lived in. For 6 relentless hours, I fought, negotiated, rewrote, and brokered fragile agreements between leaders who barely tolerated one another. By 3:17 a.m., we secured a unanimous resolution. Thousands of civilians would receive food, medicine, safety. When it was over, I checked my phone. A message from my cousin, "Nora, we never knew. Can we start over?" I looked around the chamber where my voice shaped the night's outcome, where my decisions shifted the direction of nations. For the first time, I realized I didn't need their understanding or their pride. I had been chasing it out of habit, not necessity. Their approval had been a cage. My purpose was the key that I replied, "We can talk. But I can't go back to pretending." 2 weeks later, they invited me to a reconciliation dinner. I declined. I'd be in Switzerland mediating climate accords for 12 nations. They sent back congratulations and apologies, words that might have meant everything once, but now? They felt simply adequate, that I no longer needed to prove my worth at a wedding or fit into their narrow picture of success. My life existed in the spaces where wars were prevented, where lives were saved, where quiet decisions echoed across the world. They once called me the family disappointment. Now they call me the family diplomat, but I don't need either title. All I need is the truth, and the work that gives it weight.